Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Beneath a Steel Sky for the PC. We went to Link Space in the last episode after finding a card that Anita dropped in the reactor. And now because of that, we have a holographic diary entry which tells us to find someone named Eduardo, who happens to be her contact and is supposed to be on the bottom level. Apparently she was supposed to meet that contact, Anita was, but she was murdered before that could even happen. For all we know, Eduardo, the contact, is probably still going to be there. So let's go ahead and look for him. Let's talk to the gardener again. Fortunately, we can't tell him if we can't get anything from him. But he does tell you that these flowers are dandelions. After all, we did find this out earlier. Here's an interesting thing. We can talk to Vincent again now. He mentioned a game called Dandelion. Let's ask him about that game.
Tell me about your Dandelion game.
Ah, it's brilliant. You get chased by these giant yellow weeds.
You mean dandelions are yellow? The gardener told me they were blue.
He's mad. He's not a real gardener.
Interesting.
How'd you know the gardener is a fake?
He's got green fingers.
That's the sign of a naturally talented gardener.
I saw him dipping them in the paint. Anyway, the plants are made of plastic.
You're a real help, Vincent.
No problem, Rob.
Ah! I was about to say that having a green thumb is supposed to be an expression, but one, it was an entire fingers, and two, apparently Vincent has noticed that the plants aren't real. Well, at least we got that out of him. Now to ask about the old subway.
Know where I'd find the old subway?
Nah, I've never heard of it.
I thought all boys were into railways.
Get real? What planet are you on?
Sometimes I wonder.
Well, so much for that.
Don't wear out your thumbs.
Let's have a chat with the gardener again.
Excuse me.
And now we can question him on his knowledge about flowers, which probably isn't as good as it should be.
You told me dandelions were blue. Did I? Well, what of it? This boy assures me they're yellow. Ugh, smart-assed little brat. All right, you got me sussed. I haven't had any formal training, but I've always dreamed of being a gardener. I love them, every little shrub and succulent. Those dainty blossoms waving their little stamens in the breeze. All right, I get the point. You won't report me, will you? Why should I do that?
Now, this supposedly ends the conversation, but you can click on the gardener again and talk to him a second time. When you do that, you'll get another dialogue option. And I believe we're about to have her man here.
Do you know a girl called Anita? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Why do you want to know? She's been murdered. I found her body in the cathedral. Can't see why you're telling me.
Well, let's talk to you again, so that way we can tell that you are what or who we think you are, rather. Well, basically the who and the what, really.
What's your name? It's Eduardo. Why? You're Anita's contact, right? How come you know so much? She left a message on her card. Listen, do you know what's happened to Link? I'm totally confused. Link is a living, self-replicating organism. Originally, it served as an advisor to the council, but it has gradually taken control. How and why? We're really not sure. Hobart scientists have developed a virus. It will check Link's growth, if we can get it into the system. Will you give me the virus? I can't. It's been downloaded to Link space. Anita was supposed to retrieve it, since she had a Shreedman port. So have I. I owe it to Anita to get that virus. No chance. It's bound to be guarded. I can try at least. Excuse me.
And if you talk to Eduardo again,
See you later.
we can't get anything else out of him. So, apparently, Link was just supposed to be a computer system, but it seems to have achieved a mind of its own, and we're not quite sure how that happened. It was just supposed to be a advisor to the council, but it seems to become a lot more. And apparently, that doesn't seem to be a good thing. And as I was walking around, I noticed that this door is open. You can talk to the doorman
Excuse me.
and ask him about the subway, but he doesn't really tell you anything. This part is completely optional.
Do you know anything about a subway? I've dreamed about them. Really? First of all, I'm swimming around like... Then I get sucked up this long tunnel. It's all wet and warm, you know? I was talking about a real subway.
Well, never mind. But as you can see, this door is now suddenly open for whatever reason, and you actually can go in here. Matter of fact, you're gonna realize you're absolutely supposed to.
Silence in court. Security Services, Department of Justice, Inc. Judge Chatsney presiding. Court is now in session.
Silence! I recognize that villain. An habitual criminal if ever I saw one.
That's Mr. Greaves, my lord. The counsel for the prosecution.
Silence when you speak to me. Now, who is the first contestant?
Defendant, my lord. The case of Union Security Services versus Howard Hobbins.
Howard Hobbins. Come on up. Nice to see you, Howard. You're not nervous, are you?
Not really.
The defendant is accused of gross contempt and assault of a security officer.
Oh, intolerable. What have you got to say for yourself, eh?
I've been framed, Your Honor. May I elucidate, my lord?
Go on then, but hurry up about it.
Officer Blunt was investigating a complaint made against Hobbins. After questioning the defendant, he was the victim of an assault.
Ah, monstrous! Off with his head!
Just a flippin' minute. Who's defending me?
Defense? Is he entitled to any?
I'm afraid so, my lord.
Upon my soul, whatever next? Who'd be silly enough to defend this wretch? Very well. Let's get on with round one. Fingers on the buzzers, everyone.
I wish to call Officer Blunt.
Call Officer Blunt.
tell the court what happened? Oh, I was assaulted. And is the culprit present in the court? Ah, that's him in the overalls. I rest my case, my lord.
Good. Where's my black cat?
We haven't heard the defense, my lord.
Is it really necessary? Oh, go on. Just don't take all day.
Okay, first of all, what is Hobbins even in trouble for? Besides supposedly assaulting an officer. 2, what is up with the judge treating this like this is some sort of game show? And 3, it's getting pretty obvious that Hobart are the good guys and the Union City is the bad guys. In case you're keeping track. Or at least trying to. Now, you can do things here, but the same thing always happens in the end. I'm just going to go through the dialogue options anyway and try to make sense out of any of this.
Now then, Officer Blunt.
Okay, let's ask who lodged a complaint against Hobbins.
Who lodged the complaint against Hobbins? Objection, my lord. Defense is contriving to lead the witness. It was a simple question. I wish to establish the seriousness of the complaint made against my client.
I shall permit the witness to answer. However, I'm awarding Mr. Greaves 5 points for a well-timed interruption.
So who did lodge the complaint?
It was Daniel Piermont.
Interesting. Also, what kind of kangaroo court is this? What was Miss Piermont's grievance?
What was Mrs. Piermont's grievance?
Cruelty to her pet dog. I interviewed Hobbins on 4 occasions, but he still hasn't confessed.
Four interrogations. What kind of officer are you?
4 interrogations suggests harassment.
Objection, my lord.
Officer Blunt is not the subject of this trial.
Quite correct. Objection sustained. 10 points to the prosecution.
Oh, brother. Well, let's ask Officer Blunt how he got wet.
Tell the court how you got wet.
While patrolling on Bellevue, I was saturated by a sudden shower.
Did you ascertain its source?
Oh, yeah. I heard laughter from the walkway above.
Oh, really? Would that be the factory walkway or the middle floor walkway?
That would be the factory walkway.
That's right.
Oh, dear.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and call Miss Piermont.
I wish to call Mrs. Piermont.
Call Mrs. Piermont.
Hello, darling.
And we get this music again.
Hello, Robin. Hello, everyone.
Silence in court.
Alright. Where do I want to start? Well, let's go ahead and ask about the complaint because that's... I want to think that's more important.
What was your complaint against Hobbins?
He was abused. My little poochie Bruce.
Disgraceful. I haven't had a dog abuse case since the infamous Spaniel Mangle scandals.
Let's ask if she had met Hobbins before this incident.
Had you met Hobbins before this incident?
I don't recall ever seeing him. But one takes little notice of mere maintenance man.
Let's ask if she saw the attack.
Did you witness the alleged attack?
Not exactly.
Then how did you know about it? Did the dog tell you?
Officer Blunt reported the incident to me.
Why would he tell you about this? Let's go ahead and ask how Miss Piermont would describe Spunky, because, hey, I have the option to do it.
How would you describe your pet dog?
Objection, Your Honor. This is a trial, not a dog show. Objection overruled, Mr. Greaves. I want to get to the bottom of this doggy business.
He's an absolute darling. Everyone adores him.
Well, I didn't know what I expected. No further questions.
No further questions, Your Honor.
And now to question Hobbins, because that's the only option we have left.
I'd like to question the defendant.
And I'll be able to do this first one soon. I might as well just go ahead and do the game show thing.
Here's your starter for 10.
Good. An excellent opening gambit. That's the sort of questioning I like to hear. None of this did you or did you not nonsense. 10 points to the defense.
Yes, because you're not a real judge. At least that's what I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure that Hobbins denies assaulting the dog.
Do you deny assaulting the dog?
Objection, my lord. The question has no bearing on the case.
It is my duty to hear every sordid detail. Objection overruled.
Well, did you assault the dog?
I never touched the brute.
Let's ask Hobbins if he knows Miss Piermont personally.
Do you know Mrs. Piermont personally?
I'd only met her once. She wanted me to flush her overflow pipe.
Ah, so for maintenance then.
Did you assault Officer Blunt?
Objection, my lord.
Why, man, what's wrong?
Repetition, my lord?
Objection overruled.
Are you guilty of assault, Howard?
Not me. I was fixing one of the cooling pipes, and it burst.
So Blunt's soaking was an accident?
Not exactly.
Ah, so apparently Hobbins was fixing the pipe. It burst. Officer Blunt got all wet. And all of this took place in Miss Piermont's residence, I'm guessing. And Miss Piermont found out what happened. And apparently the dog, Spunky, got caught up in this as well. And apparently Officer Blunt is supposedly assaulted because he got wet from a burst pipe, and I'm guessing something happened to Spunky or not. I don't know. Wow. Let's ask why the pipe burst.
Why did the pipe burst?
Some joker had cut a power cable and overloaded the steam release in the power station. That's what damaged the cooling pipe.
Oh, I see.
So was it something we did? earlier in the game that caused all this? I'm beginning to think so. Oh, what the heck? Les asked me laughed at Blunt getting wet.
Did you laugh at Blunt's predicament?
Laugh! I've nearly wet me pants.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and stop asking questions because there are no more questions to ask.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Greaves, you may start the bonus round.
The facts speak for themselves, my lord. Hobbins is a cruel and callous man with no respect for law and order. I recommend the maximum possible sentence.
Any comments from the defense?
I don't believe this is happening. This is total madness. You've all been warped in some way. And I think Link is the cause.
Silence! I've heard quite enough of this nonsense. So it's time for me to make my judgment. Howard Hobbins, you've won tonight's star prize. Life imprisonment. However, in view of your service to the city, I'm going to reduce your sentence. 2 hours community service. Court dismissed.
What just happened? Why was the security logo up on the wall fitted with game show lights? It really was a game to them. Oh, let's go and see how much we can ruin their lives. Whoa! I don't know what else to say. I actually want to believe that Hobbins not reacting to the game show lights and music is just... I want to believe that's funny. I just want to believe that Hobbins was just completely just... You know what? I just don't care anymore. That was Hobbins' mood. Just get me out of here. So, Hobbins now has 2 hours of community service for getting an officer wet and laughing at him because a pipe burst. And the pipe burst wasn't even his fault. I don't even know.
Court closed. See link for news of forthcoming attractions.
Yeah, that sign on the door was our only real hint of what we were going to run into when we went to court. And I've now been playing for over 20 minutes. This was a weird ride. And I'm just going to save over the practice file. And I am going to save over... Or actually, I'm going to save a new file. I always save a new file. I'm surprised the scroll wheel on the mouse works if you have one on your mouse with this game. Anyway, join me next time where we try to get that virus that we need to stop Link with in Link Space. It's probably going to be guarded but at least we have to try getting it. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!